This is just the backup file, but I like to be.
I thought you did. I
did,
press
but
it.
then I pressed it off because there was something. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's been a while. Give it a little bit of adjustment period. I'll get back to it. But
It has actually been a while, hasn't it?
it has been a bit. Do you know what? It doesn't feel like it, but it has. And the only reason I know that is because when I go to upload episodes, it shows me the date of when the last one was, and I was like, I think it's been a month or maybe 5 weeks. Which, okay, it's not the biggest amount of time, but it is like, whoa, it didn't feel like that.
But sometimes we used to do 1 or 2 a week.
Yeah.
We used to, didn't we? Like, and then kind of slowed down a bit because obviously doing other things. But I suppose this is a valid reason.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I want to know what's behind that curtain. Even though I know there's nothing there, I know there's nothing behind that curtain, but I just want to see.
Foam.
What are you hiding?
More foam, sir.
What are you hiding?
Just foam.
I'm like, is that a magical doorway? What's in there?
Magical doorway. Not Narnia going on in here.
Narnia in here, yeah.
But yeah, we're going to be talking about AI.
Yeah.
So,
fucking AI.
as appropriate, you have brought the laptop. We've got all sorts of technology surrounding us. So I suppose there's a slight irony in that.
It's the first time I've really used it. This laptop. So.
Is it a new
it's a new
asset,
one.
if you will?
Yeah, I bought it for recording music because I'm going to start recording by myself and kind of getting to know the recording software and stuff, getting to know Logic Pro and that. So I'm going to do a bit of studying and kind of try and make demos myself, so things are a little easier on sending to recording studios and stuff. So that's why I bought it.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So AI, we've talked about this before, but I feel like there's been a bit of a development in the last 6 months, maybe 9, and it's centered around one thing and one thing only. I think we know where this is going, and it's ChatGPT, right? This is something that has came about within the last year.
Yeah, but 6 months and a bit, I think. It's maybe longer, actually. But yeah, I've not actually been on it before. I've actually got it on a tab on my computer at home, but I haven't actually set up an account and actually went on and played with it. But I mean, from what I've heard so far, it's pretty freaky.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen there's a YouTuber I watch, Star Wars Theory. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he was talking to it and asking it to like certain scenarios in Star Wars, and it was literally writing its own script, and like it was able to actually tell you what was going to happen and if this had happened and if Darth Vader did this and did this, and he's like, it's like it knows every single thing. It doesn't. Do you know what I mean? Like, it knows everything, and it could actually have passed for a movie, or actually an actual movie script, and it's pretty impressive. But it's just gonna go even further. It's gonna get even scarier.
And I mean, I've used it once, right?
Have you?
And I was that freaked out by it, as you rightly mentioned. There, it's very good at what it does, right? It's you can give it examples or what you want, right? So I can't remember what I think I said something like a movie scenario, right? Very, very vague of like someone getting over mental health problems or something, right? I think that's what I put in. And I got back, like, I'm talking like, it's maybe about a 5-minute read. So it wasn't like the full thing, but it gave you like the outline and the setting and the plot and everything. And I read that and I was nearly blown away. Because I'd heard about people saying this is unreal, but you can always get caught up in the hype sometimes with things, right? Like some things are never what you expect them to be. But this is not that. This is real. This is like this, and it's going to come in all forms of creativity, whether it's movies, whether it is books, whether it is TV programs, series, music, whatever you can think of.
It doesn't matter what it. I mean, it's literally, and it's not using. I don't think it's using real world data yet, but it will. But it will be.
Yeah.
I mean, and to think that that's what it's doing, and it's not actually using real world data is like scary. So I mean, I don't know what it's going to be like when it does.
Yeah, and I think there's definitely an element of this that has surprised me a little bit. Like we've always said this is going to come, but now that it's here, right? And regardless of how long it takes to fucking get to where it wants to be and to like actually be doing everything itself and like be the main kind of creator, if you will, rather than humans, it does feel like what I expected it to be maybe 5-10 years. Seems like that's been shortened a lot from my kind of experience with it. I'm not going to lie. I went and then deleted like the account because I was like, I could get like addicted to this thing of just like, oh, I've got an idea, ChatGPT that can elaborate on it, and then
there's one on Snapchat now.
Is there? Jeez, because there's
It's
another
not
one.
sophisticated, but it's pretty impressive.
There's one called is it GBT3 or something as well?
I'm not sure.
Like I'm sure there's like a rival one and whatnot, but it is alarming. And it's not alarming in the way of like Terminator, like, oh, it's going to kill us or whatever. It's just like,
Not yet.
this thing is literally going to be able to do what people are doing, but better in every sense of the fashion. And the reason that it'll be able to do that is because it'll know what people want, right? And there'll be no originality anymore. Like, you think about it now, or 10 years ago, 20 years ago even, if someone came out with a song or someone came out with a film, they didn't know that's what people wanted to hear or see. That just developed after the song or film was released, right? Whereas this thing is going to have algorithms in it, know what the majority of people want to see before it's even made, and then make those films. And that's what people are going to be drawn to.
Yeah.
But there will be no original creation anymore. It'll just be what do the public want to see? And that's scary to me. That is like...
It's learning everything that we do, we say, we think. It's... I mean, because us, like for example, you putting in that thing about mental health and stuff, it's taking that on board and saying, this is what this individual's thinking. So every fucking person that uses it, it's gathering that data, right? So, like, obviously, eventually, once it does actually start using real world data, like, that's going to be scarier. But, like, for example, Jordan Peterson, do you know Jordan?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like, I've got some notes, right? Jordan Peterson, I don't know if you know him, but he's really intelligent, right? And he's written like many books and stuff like that. But like, I've got it written here. He asked GPT to write him an essay. That's the 13th rule beyond order, written in a style that combines King James Bible with Tao Te Ching. Now, for a lot of people that doesn't know what that is, that's from his book.
Right, okay.
Now, that's a pretty sophisticated thing to ask anybody, regardless of, some of the smartest people in the world, right? That's pretty sophisticated. That's 3 major things, right? And it came back with 3 seconds.
Yeah.
It came back with it perfectly. Now, the scary thing is that Jordan said that, like, he wouldn't have even realised. So if he had seen that written down, he would assume that was him that wrote that.
He wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
He wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So he's literally taken... So ChatGPT is taken from what is in that book, and, like, it's mimicking him, essentially. So nobody's safe. So, like, if say you're a sports writer, like everybody loves Raymond, like a sports writer, right? So, like, you're famous for that. Now, you use these words all the time. You've got a certain way of saying things, right? Like, so if you'd seen in the paper, you would automatically think, oh, that's my writing. Like, that's the way I write. But the AI is being able to do this. Like, it's picking up on that. So I think, anybody that's on this ChatGPT thing, it's just gathering everybody's data eventually. It's going to do that.
And I think the scariest thing about it is it's not like people are going to be aware of it either. It's just going to happen. It's not going to be like, oh, we know that this thing's making all the movies and that now. It's just going to be before it'll get there, and then we'll just be, oh, that's how things are now.
But the thing is, people, if you're telling people the actual reality of it, they'll be like, I don't think so. Stop it. And it's like, no, I'm being serious. This is actually happening. Like, and they don't care. They'll still use it because it entertains them. Like, as you said, you were going to be able to get addicted to it.
And here's another thing. When you do, like, deactivate your account or whatever, you're not allowed to use it again. How many people are going to think about deactivating it and then get pulled back in with, but if I don't I'll never get access to it again. Like they'll have to come up with a new email.
That's
or
on
whatever.
purpose.
Yeah, it's the whole dopamine thing, and
Yeah. Like, ChatGPT was asked to create a screenplay for a brand new $900 million Hollywood blockbuster, right?
right.
And it created plot characterizations. Then it generated photorealistic computer images of each actor. So, like, it created pictures of the actors that were going to be in the film.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen, like, for example, Elon Musk walking in the street with a big white jacket on, right?
Yeah.
And he's walking there, he's got pinky rings on and everything, and it's not even him.
Yeah, it's an AI.
It's AI that has done that, and I'm like, what the fuck?
And there's not like with Photoshop, you can sometimes tell, right?
Yeah.
But with this,
No,
someone could tell you that's him, and you would be like, but you would be like, it doesn't look fake, you know?
But then, like, people that can use this can say, "Oh yeah, he was cheating on you, by the way."
Yeah, exactly.
And has a picture of him kissing another woman, and it's not fucking him. Like, remember they had Joe Rogan saying something.
Yeah, I remember where like they had. I know what you mean. I remember the clip, but they did it with they did another one where it was him, but instead of his voice, and it was perfectly like lip synced. It was I think it was Bill Clinton.
Oh, but the Joe Biden one, was it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was another one. Joe Biden saying about
Joe Biden. Yeah.
Aye. We won't go into that. But I mean,
hell.
it's going to know. It's got so much knowledge already, and it's only going to build on it, right? And even its kind of early assessment of what it knows.
It's literal dumb AI right now.
Yeah, and it's still incredibly smart for it being dumb. If that makes sense.
I mean, this is the kind of like things that are going to be able to, like right now, it's writing screenplays and doing maths and stuff, right?
Wasn't there not like some controversy that people were using it to pass exams and stuff like that?
Yeah, it could absolutely happen because like you could tell it to write, as we said, to write the next Hollywood blockbuster. So like if it's doing that and it's, you know, it can write papers, it can write, and I mean, yeah, of course, you can cheat. It's capable of doing that.
Yeah.
It's capable of much more than that, though. Like, oh yeah, give me the math to get to the moon.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
and it's not like it takes an hour to get back to you. It's within seconds.
It's seconds. It's literal seconds. It's like, it's that quick.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen people using it. Like, as I said, Star Wars Theory was doing it. And he was on about, like, he was asking it to write a script for a certain part that doesn't exist, obviously.
Yeah,
Like, what would happen if Leia did this or whatever? And boom. And it's like, what the fuck? It took him 5 minutes to read this part, and it was like 3 seconds. It's like, that's scary shit. That's scary shit.
Yeah.
Like,
and I mean, this is the thing, because we're going into the unknown here, aren't we?
and all the elderly people like my granny and granddads, they ain't got a fucking clue about this shit.
Yeah, of course.
They don't understand what that even means.
Yeah, like my nan's still complaining about how to use internet banking, you know what I mean? Like,
My granny doesn't even know how to get into her iPhone.
Yeah, so.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they've not got a clue what's going on. The
When I
world's
say internet
changing.
banking, I mean, like, she doesn't actually have internet, but she's complaining about it being online, if you know what I mean, so.
I think it's shit that everything's online for, well, especially for older people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think AI is, we're going to be at a stage where AI is going to be around us. Like, we'll not see the downfall of it. If like, hopefully we don't get to that point where it is a downfall, because obviously it's a big, big fucking thing that we're going to have to watch, because we don't want it to slip away from us.
Yeah, because it's a thing that should be there to help us. But but it's the unknown of how that is going to progress over time.
Well, I mean, if it's that smart already, what's it going to be in 2 years?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's as smart as like a I don't know, like a Harvard professor or some shit right now, right? But like in 2 years, it's going to be 10 times that smart. Like, and it's already smarter than everybody right now.
Yeah.
So what the fuck's it going to be like then? Like, it's going to be pretty fucking scary. And it's going to be able to, I mean, and when's it going to get to the point where the government will not allow you to talk to it anymore? Well, we will be capped. So like the chat GPT that we're using right now will probably get that sort of thing, maybe a little bit smarter, but then we'll be capped and we won't be allowed to talk to it anymore, because it will be used for governments and stuff only, where, okay, how do we build this weapon?
Yeah.
Or how do we do this in space? Or how do we build this building? Or how do we get this bulletproof, you know, How do we build armored vehicles better? How do we like? And it's
How
going to
do
be
we
able to
deceive
tell.
our population?
Yeah, exactly. So like how far is it to this planet? Like how do we build, you know, vehicles in space? Like how are we able to get places?
It's
Like,
going to become that valuable that people are going to start fighting over it, basically.
well, I mean, it's only going to be so long before, because right, okay, humans can be so amazing, right?
Yeah.
But we can be absolute bastards. And I mean, you notice the world right now and all world poverty and all that shit, where we are at a stage right now where world poverty doesn't need to be a thing. It doesn't. Like we all have enough money together to make every other country comfortable, where like there doesn't have to be. I know, like everybody's like, oh, but it's not our job.
Yeah.
It's not our job. But it's like, well, what if we come together as a planet and not just as a country?
Yeah.
Oh, it's their country, it's their problem. But why don't we come together as a planet instead? Because
We don't like change, do we?
but there's going to be something that's gonna stop that though. Like we're gonna have to at some point, whether it be fucking, you know, aliens come down or some shit, or fucking tell us that we've got to get all along, or like that. I think if aliens actually showed themselves, just say they did, like we would all come together, because we'd realize that there's more to life than just fighting.
I think we would come together because we're scared.
That's what I'm saying.
That
Though,
would
but
be
like,
the main
like,
thing, yeah.
like that would be it, right? So like, but it would either be that or AI is going to be a major problem. We've got to, you know, or AI is helping one country, and everybody wants it.
Yeah.
Like
And then kind of everyone's, because if it starts, that is the thing, because it's so unpredictable what is going to happen.
like say fucking Russia got it. Russia have twice the nuclear weapons we've got.
Yeah.
Sorry, America's got. I mean, probably half of them don't work because they're old as fuck. But still, like,
And
that's a dangerous
Russian
thing,
military
that
strategy hasn't exactly been best in class recently. So
I mean, that whole Wagner Group thing, like,
that was crazy, wasn't it? Like, it lasted a day.
yeah. But do you know what I don't get, right? Right, I know we're going away from AI and stuff, but like,
we will get back. Don't worry.
this just happened, okay? We've not been here for a while. But like, the Wagner Group, the march to fucking Moscow, right? Putin put out a speech and said that they must pay for treason. And they, like, they're not going to get away with this and all this kind of shit. We are Russia. We're stronger and we're all, and all this kind of shit, right? Then all of a sudden, he's put the march stops. The Wagner Group, well, I think it was the boss guy. I can't remember his name.
He's now in exile in
Belarus, right? And all of a sudden, Putin said, "Okay, that's all done. Just go back to your original posts." But what? Was that a fucking military strategy or what?
There was gunfights as well. Like Russian soldiers were fighting each other for like a couple hour period.
There was like what, 20 dead or something?
20 dead, yeah, something like that. But
like, I'm not like, as you, like, for example, the whole time that I've been on a podcast with you, right? Not once, especially the beginning, was I ever political.
Yeah.
But see now, I can't fucking not
wrapped you in.
I don't know why, and I fucking hate politics. I hate the way it works, but I can't help it. Just like
I'm kind of on the mindset now. It's what you make of it, really, innit? Like you can we can be angry at it, or we can enjoy it for the circus that it is. And we will talk about something we were talking about last night later, because I do have plans to cover a certain event next year very, very heavily, because I think it's going to be the craziest thing that we've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's going to be fucking wild.
So, but the Russian, the Wagner Group head, from what I'd seen, had been like posting these videos online, taking shots, metaphorical shots, until like they actually started taking shots at each other on the day that they, tried to overthrow the government, I guess, if you will. But he was complaining at two major generals about ammo or something like that. There was like no ammo getting to them, and obviously they've been on like the front lines of, I think it's Bakhmut, so it's like the city in Ukraine that's obviously seeing really intense fighting or something like that.
Yeah, did they not take that? What's his name? What was it called?
Rostov.
Yeah. They took Rostov.
Yeah, it was a Russian military base.
Yeah.
Right? And then there was, they were like 200 miles away from Moscow, and I was like, whoa.
That's fucking close.
Yeah.
But do you know the scary thing is, right? That guy, they were like, oh, he's got 50,000 men. He's got 50,000 men. He had 25,000 men, right? 25,000 is a fucking lot of people, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Like, that's a lot of people now. These are the guys that are hitmen for Putin.
Yeah, private
Right?
military contractors.
Yeah, like, so see all these guys. Remember that guy got poisoned back in 2000, and
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he's now in Russian jail.
yeah,
He was one of Putin's political rivals.
yeah.
And Putin was like, "Oh,
Was there not a guy though that was in Britain that got poisoned?
oh,
Remembers all
yeah,
of the fucking
that
news
was
and all
back
that
in
shit.
2006.
2006, yeah, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh no, wait, which one are you talking? The Aylesbury one? Is that the one? Where
Was the one in it? Was it not in the 90s?
There's been a lot of Russian poisons, isn't
Or was
there?
it early 2000s? Yeah, well, anyway, it would have probably been that fuckers that done it.
Yeah,
So like they're the kind of like, you know, SAS kind of fucking
Spetsnaz. Well,
Spetsnaz.
Spetsnaz is their actual special forces.
Yeah.
but
So like they're that kind of guys that would be doing all his dirty work.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy that is the head of this fucking Wagner group was the guy that was actually a chef for Vladimir Putin.
he was a chef.
He was a chef for Vladimir Putin, and he's a billionaire.
What kind? Well, of course.
He's a billionaire, yeah. But by the way, he's out on the front lines, fucking fighting. The guy's a fucking nut job.
Yeah, committing war crimes left, right,
No,
and
he's
center
nuts.
and
He's
stuff.
he's
yeah.
nuts. Now he was wanting. I think he's wanting Vladimir Putin's job. He's wanting to sit there on the throne.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Vladimir Putin all of a sudden died, now he doesn't look well, but if he all of a sudden died, who are they going to put in after him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So see this guy that was going to march on Moscow. That guy is probably far more dangerous than Putin could ever be,
Yeah.
because he wants nuclear war with the West.
Is that real though?
I've heard that that's true.
Mm.
So regardless of whether it's true or not, it's a scary thing.
Yeah.
Because when you think, okay, Vladimir Putin did keep the peace for, oh, I mean, you know, not like he's not killed any American soldiers.
Yeah.
He's not killed any there. So the thing is, I know we test each other all the time and all that sort of shit. We're always fucking poking the bear and all
Yeah,
that.
it's kind of like
stuff.
if you cut the snake's head off, what one regrows back, basically.
That's the thing, right? So the last thing we want is nuclear war.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants a nuclear war. I mean, the only ones that are nut jobs enough to do that would be Russia.
Mm-hmm.
They're fucking.
I mean, that's the thing. Putin's brought it up, hasn't he? But he's doing that as like a bluff a lot of the time. It kind of, you know, when we like, for example, when we send weapons to Ukraine,
Yeah.
or when it looks like we may be considering, I don't think we've ever considered this, but like if we were to consider putting a no-fly zone over the Ukrainian airspace or something, he would be like, oh, but remember what we've got. You know what I mean? Like put that kind of marker.
he's
down.
playing his
It's
big card.
posturing, right?
Yeah. He just wants to make sure that he's got a bigger dick than everyone else.
AI. You know, so we'll spend the last 20 minutes talking about AI. So yeah, where did we leave off on AI? We were at
We're
like
talking about GPT.
we're talking about it taking over the kind of infrastructure of media and creativity and whatnot. Now I've got a little bit of personal experience with this because I've got the Adobe suite, right, which I'm obviously going to be needing for the business, and I'm going to be doing like a lot of editing and whatnot. And there's a lot of AI creations coming forward now in like Adobe software.
Right.
So, for example, Photoshop, you can generate AI images, kind of like what you were talking about earlier with the kind of example you made, where, in video editing, there is like now features like the AI color grading or color correcting thing. So instead of going through and, you know, whites, blacks, shadows, contrast, brightness, whatever, you click an auto color button and it does it. So it does whatever it thinks it needs, right? So it does it in about 4 or 5 seconds, right? It just generates what it thinks it needs done to it. But I've seen a YouTube video recently, and I seen a YouTube video recently, and it was a guy testing out an app called Autopod. Now, with the setup that we have here and what we've had for some time in terms of how this works when it's a video thing, so let's just say there's 4 of us here. I'm going to use the multicam, right? So that involves me, first of all, sorting out the audio, getting that into Premiere Pro, bringing the video files in, doing what I need to do to the video, make it one sequence, and then I make the cuts manually.
Right.
So I'm watching through when we're speaking just now, for example,
Yeah.
and I've got 1 and 2 for like buttons to switch between the cuts, or I
Right.
can use a mouse and do it or whatever.
Right.
So I've got to watch through the whole thing. I speed it up a little bit,
Right.
and it takes like 5 minutes off of what I'd. So if we're going for an hour 20, I'm watching it for an hour 15, maybe an hour 10 at a push. So a significant period of time, right? Like there's other ways that you can do it a bit quicker. Like I could live cut it on a switcher if I wanted to, but
Right.
I don't have £400 sitting in my pocket to do so at the moment.
Right.
This app that you pay, I think the American price is $30 a month. So whatever the exchange rate is for pounds, I don't know. Probably like I would guesstimate £26 or something.
How much is it?
$30 a month.
Actually, yeah, probably about 25, 26.
Yeah, 25, 26, something like that. It used to be their money was double ours, but now because the pound is like well and truly fallen in the mud, it is like way closer. But anyway, so he was testing it out and he was going through the same thing. Usually I have to cut this up manually and let's see what it does. And it's a plugin for Premiere Pro, right? That you download the Autopod thing, you bring it in, and then you use the feature. This thing, for a 45-minute podcast, 45 minutes, right, of making the cuts, going through all of it and making cuts between who was speaking. It could tell by the audio waveforms who was speaking and making the cuts for the cameras and that. For a 45-minute video, took 40 seconds.
40 seconds.
40 seconds. And I know, because I kind of had this kind of thought in my head as well, but it can't be, there'll be something off with it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
It was bang on.
It was bang on. Fuck. I probably shouldn't be telling people that if I'm trying to open a business doing that sort of
but
stuff.
That's fucking pretty incredible, that is incredible.
It's $30 a month though, so like you're cheaper coming here and getting it done, you know what I mean?
But yeah, like that's pretty amazing, eh?
Yeah. Scary though.
Think about the time you'll save as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fucking hell. That's crazy.
And I just like, I mean, that's my experience of it.
Yeah.
As well as like, I suppose even things like when I raise the LUFS, which stands for loudness unit full scale. So this is where like Spotify, Apple, YouTube, any platform that you're uploading to will have a standard they want to normalize your audio to.
Right.
So instead of normalizing it to like -3 or -1 to stop it from going to 0 and clipping, it gets it put into LUFS. So it's just another way of doing it, but it'll normalize the whole file with a peak limiter. So
right, okay.
when we do this, I match the LUFS of the two tracks and then I mix them together and then I normalize the LUFS of that track to -16 for a stereo file. That's the standard for what we put the podcast on. Right. And a limiter of 1 so it doesn't clip and distort and all that kind of stuff. So that's like AI within itself as well, because it's using an algorithm to get the whole file to be the same and whatnot.
Yeah, so it kind of thinks for itself, doesn't it? It's amazing, man.
And you know what? AI for like, I hate using this because like, I suppose content creation. I don't know why I cringe when I hear that. Like it's like I'm a content creator.
What do you do? I'm a content creator.
Yeah, it's like oh man, like.
And then the older people are like, yeah, get a real job.
Yeah. But so in this kind of set of things of like editing and you know whatever you're doing, filmmaking, even probably like animation and stuff like that, I think it's awesome, right? I think it's going to help a lot of people out.
Yeah, 100%.
But I understand the worry that because it's going to go everywhere. It's not just going to be limited to one field.
No.
It won't just be in media or in the examples I've given, but it will be factories, it will be shops, it will be whatever you can think of. It will be involved somehow.
Well, I mean, most people are going to be replaced, you know?
Yeah, but that's the bad thing about it, right? Because I remember they had not to go back to politics, but I think it was Bernie Sanders was mentioning this, and he was saying one of the good things that AI and robots would be great for is if people could still be on the same money of working, like, for example, 70 hours a week. I think that is the maximum someone can work. I don't know if it's for the UK or America. It might have been America because obviously he's an American politician. But he was saying it would be great if that could be used to then allow people to have a 4-day work week but on the same amount of money, right?
Well, yeah, that was mentioned, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. But that's not going to happen.
That used to happen.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen because the people that own the big businesses that the machines are going to end up being used for, they're going to be like, oh, we can save so much money by just not having anyone work for us and use the machines all the time, right?
Think about the machines can work through the night also.
Yes. They don't need breaks. They don't need lunch. They don't need
maternity
leave. Well, they don't get maternity leave in America anyway, but...
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Holiday or whatever.
Well, it's good that you mentioned that, right? Because I was just going to wait to mention that the chat GPT thing, I've just clicked Back in 2016, asked my brother and my family, I was ranting and raving about AI because I had heard podcasts from fucking Alex Jones, from Sam Harris, from, Joe Rogan and stuff. So I get the chat GPT thing is obviously coming from a fucking computer somewhere,
Yeah.
right?
A database or whatever.
Now, chat GPT did not exist at this point. Maybe it did, but we didn't know about it. Now, I was talking to my family and my brother. Asked my brother, I was ranting and raving about this. I was thinking there's going to be a AI supercomputer that is going to be able to access. I think I might have mentioned to you before about a supercomputer. This is what this will be what it is. So everything that we're saying to it, it's taking that information in. So that is the supercomputer, and that supercomputer would be able to actually, it would be able to do incredible things like, like constructing fucking buildings and thinking like, well, we need to build better glass buildings or 3D printing. How do we do this? Or or when we go to Mars, or even if we're not already on Mars by now, who knows nowadays. Like how do we build buildings on there? Like, like you'd be able to do all this amazing things. But like, yeah, that ChatGPT thing will 100% be where it's all going. And this supercomputer somewhere that will eventually be the most important thing. Because after AI and after we get to that stage where it is creating everything and we are no longer working and we're all given a payment. So we're all given a weekly wage and a monthly wage and everybody is the same. There's no rich, there's no poor, there's no poverty. Artificial intelligence is doing everything.
Yeah.
Because eventually it will have to get to that stage. Because
it's going in that trajectory, isn't it?
Well, I mean, like there's going to be machines that are going to be able to look after your kids. If you need your kids, there's going to be machines that will do your washing. Going to be that's going to.
Was there not like a study, an article, that said within 8 years it will be doing the majority of surgeries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's same as like anything you want done around the house. You'll have this little robot thing that'll be able to do anything. Like anything you ask of it, right? So, like, oh yeah, go walk a dog. Okay, I'll just go walk the dog, right? And it will be able to do anything you want it to do. So, like, like your car, it'll drive you anywhere you want to go. Like Tesla's already pretty much doing that, right? Okay, there are a couple of sticky stages with going around corners and things like, but they're fixing it and it's getting better. Like you literally just jump in the car, punch in where you need to go, you just sit back, and it'll take you there. Like that's fucking nuts. It's like full circle. See, like back in like I don't know 1880s or something, right? You're absolutely steaming. You're in a saloon in the west, right? You're absolutely steaming. You jump on your horse. Your horse takes you home. Your horse knows where to go, right? You can go out and you get pissed in a Tesla, jump in it,
yeah, and then
it
there's
can drive
no
you
risk.
home.
Yeah, no risk of drink driving.
So it's like full circle, right? So this is where AI is going, and eventually it is going to go that way, where nobody will need to work, and the government's going to have to give people, a weekly wage or a monthly wage or something.
Is that a good or a bad thing though?
Well, I mean, providing the government, who's the government? Like, who do?
Just that situation in general, though, right? Because I think
people's gonna be like, "What do you do all day?"
Yeah,
yeah.
Because then that's where it becomes like Wall-E, innit?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's things that people could do. Like, there's always something you can literally go and enjoy yourself all day, every day.
Yeah.
Right, and like Earth could be like a theme park. Right, it could be like. For example, like with artificial intelligence that powerful, it can create so how do we get from this planet, from this side of the planet to this side of the planet faster? And it will create technologies. Now think about how quick Chat GPT is creating right now, right? And what it can do already. In 2 years, what's it going to be able to do? In 5 years, what's it going to be able to do? In 20 years, what's it going to be able to do? And it's just going to get faster, faster, and faster, and faster.
And you've got to think there's going to be rivals that are going to make equally, if not better, competitors, right?
Yeah, of course, right? So the thing about it is the fact that the more technology advances, the quicker that it, innovates. So the faster, and before you know it, you go flying cars. Before you know it, we're going to Mars for a holiday. right? Things like, and it sounds absolute
It sounds
madness.
crazy, yeah.
But think about how fast that ChatGPT is making in 6 months. It's better than it was when it came out, right? 2 years. It'll be able. It's fucking freaky, because it will gonna. You are gonna have to create bodies for this thing. Like, I'm not saying like human fucking flesh bodies. I'm talking, like a robotic body, so it can actually do things for you. So where Alexa is now looking after, your dog, or like as I said before, it can do anything you want, and it will get to that point.
I think there's an element of so Tim Dillon, right, who I'm a big fan of. I was listening to his podcast the other day. He was talking about the sub thing that happened recently, of where the people went to go see the Titanic, and obviously, need you say any more, really. By the way, like, I can't believe anyone got on a sub. Like, I don't know if you've seen the interior of it being controlled by a PlayStation controller, having one button.
I seen a vlog about a guy that went there on okay, so it was dive 5, mission 5, that sadly they all died. He was on mission 3, and they didn't go down to the Titanic. They went underwater for like a few minutes, and then they got back up.
Yeah,
because the weather was bad, and they never went down. He says, so if we went down, we could have died that day.
Yeah.
But you saw the vlog, and you saw Stockton Russ, the guy that, was the boss of the company. And I'm telling you, Ryan, he looked like one of the nicest guys, and they all looked after that guy on that boat. And they all looked after them like they were their own, like they were really, really nice people.
I'm not saying that they weren't. I'm just saying it didn't look safe.
But what I'm saying is, if he had said to me, there's space on this for to go down, did you want to come? I'd have said yes. Because he just made you feel safe. Do you know what I mean?
I'm too paranoid for that.
He just kind of, it might seem stupid now saying that, but,
yeah.
Sadly, because they're gone. But watch that. I'll send you the vlog. I'll show you what I mean. It was like, they were really, really, made you feel like, I'm up for that. You know what I mean?
But Tim Dillon was saying that the reason that, like, people, because obviously they were all very, very wealthy people, which doesn't make a difference in terms of it's like sad that people have passed away or anything, but he was saying that people with that amount of wealth get to a point of they're looking for something because they've experienced pretty much everything. Whereas the kind of benefit of, not the benefit, but it's almost, you almost feel a little bit more happy when you don't have that amount of wealth, because there's that
you're chasing that. It's
exactly.
like drugs.
Right.
It's like drugs. You're chasing that first high, right? And that's kind of what it is that they're trying to achieve in it. Like, okay, what do I do next? What do I do next? Because they're bored.
Yeah,
they've fucking done everything. They got anything they whatever wanted. And I agree with you. It's definitely got that is the problem. I think, if you've got a job that pays 100 grand, 200 grand a year, I think that would be probably perfect, because you have money.
Yeah, there's a good balance there, right?
But you're not too rich that you can
go overboard with
be fucking mad and go, I'm gonna go to space next. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think if I was like mega rich, I'd probably get to that point where I was like, fuck it, I think
most people would, though, right? Yeah. I don't think any of us are immune from.
We're all after more
boredom. Yeah.
That's like the human thing is, right? It's innovation, more, better, faster, stronger, right? That's what it's about, and like the latest iPhone, I love that. The latest computer, I love that. Fastest car, better car, I love that.
Consumerism, really, isn't it?
If I was rich, I'm not being funny, but if I was rich, right, and Tesla come out with the brand new Roadster, I'd be like, I'll have one of that. I'll have that. Fucking right, I will. Look at it. I'm one of them people that's like, they have to have the nicest thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's just like a thing, and I can't.
I didn't like maybe material things. Not like you want to be better than everyone else. Yeah.
No, not like that at all. But like, I just kind of like new things. I I don't know what it is. It's just like, I don't know. Like when I see like a brand new iPhone, I'm like, what does that do? Like I'm kind of But then after like a month, I'm like, fucking phone. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just that you're chasing that new shit, and then you peel the bit off it, then it's like, it's just like my old phone.
Yeah, it's like the dopamine of, it's the moment, it's the peak is just before getting it.
That's it.
And then it starts to go down.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. It's like you get the new computer and like, it's quite similar to my old one. You know, like, okay, cool. like, you spent that much money on something, and then for like to realize not even like a month later, probably less than that, and maybe a week later, that it's it's just fucking like it's like you're chasing that high, and then it's a novelty. That's the word, novelty. It's like when you pass your test.
I wouldn't know that feeling.
Yeah, like when you pass your test and that, and then like for me, I'd always wanted to drive, so the novelty took quite a while. It took years to come off, right? And then after it did, I was just like, it's just an everyday thing. That's just a drive, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what it's like.
I mean, for me, it's like, it's kind of like this. That's my version of that. Like I think it's awesome when I got this, like, and I've recycled like you would, like if you were getting a new car, you would replace the one that you currently had, right? So it's kind of like that, and I get the concept of it, right? Even though I maybe don't understand the actual thing, you know, because we don't understand why everyone's got different interests, because we're different, right? And that's it. That is the kind of question, and also the beauty of, you know, having so many different people in the world, right? Speaking of going back to AI, well, we were already on AI, but do you think like it will be in planes and shit like that as well? Do you think, like, you know how you mentioned driverless cars? Do you think we're going to get to the point where like driverless jetliners?
I think it'll take a while before that happens.
Yeah,
I think the car thing is very, 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 very.
It's already happening,
soon.
really.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
like that. No, but I mean like all the time.
Yeah,
Like where you will not be allowed to drive a car anymore because think about it. Cars are traveling at the same speed all the time, and like it would be like a train. Like it's just like a non-stop. Like,
yeah.
So like traffic lights and all.
There's not such things as roundabouts and all this stuff. Yeah.
Like the systems will be so much better, so much. So like there won't be any traffic accidents. Like, and if there was, it would be a fault with the car.
It would be a rarity compared to what it is now.
Yeah, exactly, and it would be a software issue. So like that, yeah. I mean, no traffic accidents. Think about how many people die in car accidents a year, and it's
drink driving incidents and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, and it's all because of the person on the wheel, right? It's their fault.
Human error.
Very, very exactly, and that's one thing you're not gonna have.
Yeah.
Flying planes, I think it would be when
I suppose a lot of that's autopilot anyway. A lot of the time. Now,
it is. Yeah, it is. But I'm talking about landing and taking off.
Yeah.
Those are the things you can fuck up.
Yeah.
Like I play DCS and I know how difficult it can get landing, especially like an F-16 when it's windy as fuck and it's a light aircraft. So like, yeah, I don't know. I know like DCS is like a simulator and all that, but you kind of get an idea of what it's like. So, I mean, it will come eventually, and it will. I mean, you got the F-35, it lands up and down like that. VTOL, or whatever it's called, VSTOL, whatever. Yeah, artificial intelligence planes. I think so you've got 6th generation fighters now. No, 5th generation. 6 generations next. I think maybe artificial intelligence might play more of a feel in that field in the 6th gen, maybe like 6th, maybe 7th.
Anything that is being built now will,
I think
there will be a role for it.
We'll have implements of it. I mean, we've always had like autopilot, right? Since the 80s or 70s or whatever, autopilot. We've had it autopilot for ages. Autopilot is basically just an altitude hold, but you do get in the Hornet. I'm going off topic here, but the F-18 Hornet has this mode. It's called coupled mode, and you can click it. And when if you've got a waypoint in your navigation system, so it will actually fly itself there. Put it in altitude hold. It'll stay in altitude, and it will turn when needed. And once you're on the selected heading, you're fine, and it will literally just fly you there because it will hold altitude. If most planes have got that now. But like I can in 6th gen, I could see more AI than because I think the A35's got quite a bit.
Yeah, and now it's going to spread like wildfire now, right? Like it's just going to be in everything. But do you think there's going to be a point of where we'll have like androids that look and sound and talk like us?
100%.
Yeah.
Whether we'll see them or not, I don't know.
I mean, I think that's probably a bit further away. I think that's maybe another lifetime down the road. Maybe as we're just exiting.
Maybe
out.
the 2070s.
Yeah.
Something along that line, maybe. I mean, I definitely think my little cousins will see them. But the thing is that we'll definitely see the whole robotic thing.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I mean, that's
now,
very,
yeah.
very fucking close. Like, I mean, I know this lady, she was moving the thing with a controller, but it was a fucking dog, AI dog, and she was kind of controlling it a bit. And she was like, "Oh yeah, like within the next few years, this thing will be doing its own thing." And this thing was jumping on top of things, and it was like, "What the fuck?" This was like out of a film. It was scary as fuck, but it was like it was moving like a dog. It was like a dog, right? It was cool. I was like, I want one, but I'll probably trash those.
Yeah.
But it's scary to think about it, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Really,
is.
when you think about it, just like walking down the road and there's like,
Because that's like probably truly when it will be an evolutionary thing of us, like we're evolutionary things of apes, because it will literally be able
that's
to
what Joe
do
Rogan said.
everything
Yeah.
that we do, but better. Well, no, maybe not better. I think there's going to be some things that it can't do that we can do. Maybe the emotion side of thing. Obviously, that's like the obvious one that people point out.
See, the thing is with humans, right? They can go two ways. The two ways meaning is that we have a grasp on it, right? So that's the first thing. So that we have a grasp on it and it doesn't overtake. It like doesn't overstep its mark. So second one would be we fucking just we want more, we want stronger, we want more things, we want better things. You've lost it.
Yeah.
Because it's rolling down the hill.
Once it's away, it's away.
Snowballing, and you're fucked because you can't stop it. It's smarter than you. Everything you think it's going to do, it's going to completely outplay you every time. It's like AI was playing fucking Go and it was beating the fucking best person at Go, one of the smartest people from like China or some shit. It was beating him like 10-0. That's a fucking difficult game, right? And every time, and they took it and they made it a little bit better, and he beat him 20-0, and it was going and going. It was like, what the fuck? Like, what is like? No, like this is too much already. Like, so I mean, ChatGPT, like that ChatGPT thing, right? That's you're not even scratching the surface. They're just letting you see that. What are they not letting you see?
Yeah, that's the public version.
Right? So what are they not letting you see? Think of all the technology they already have available to them. They're probably about 100 years ahead.
Yeah.
So if what we have in our hand, right? See the phone. That was probably invented 100 years ago. Maybe 50 years ago.
Yeah, 50 I would probably say.
So think about like most things these days. It's just like they're always going to be like more than 50, 100 years ahead. So it's scary to think like what they actually have.
Yeah, and it's the unknown in it, and that's what scares us the most is when we don't know what's going on.
I want to know though so bad. I want to see what they've got.
It's weird, like, see when they do make big announcements, like when they said that they'd found UFOs and shit like that, you expect like a big build-up and you expect like a massive like...
You ever noticed that nobody gives a fuck?
Yeah, and it was when the pandemic started, wasn't it? And they were just like in the middle of April when everyone was like in the house and whatever, and they just did a little the Americans have like someone come up to this podium and it's not really anything to do with the president, it's not anything to do with state, it's like a national defense thing and it's totally separate, and they were like we just found like this unidentified aircraft in like Arizona 10 years ago, we're just declassifying that now. Anyway, the weather
we don't know what it is.
But it was like said so casually as well, like you would think there'd be a bit of a drum roll and it was like, I know you've been waiting for it. But he was just like,
See, the thing is, right? No one gives a fuck because they've been lied to for so long. They don't know which is right and which not, and that's sadly the way it is.
In a way, right? I kind of understand why they don't tell, because I don't think our reaction can be trusted with big breaking news like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think people would see. You'd think, would people riot? Would it go mad, or because like you're already telling people that we don't know what this craft is, by the way, we have no fucking idea what it is, and nobody gives a shit. Nobody said a fucking word, like nobody cares.
But like if they came out and went further and said, oh yeah, it started in Roswell and there's been going on for years and we've just not revealed it, we've not publicly acknowledged it. Like think about when like the pandemic did start and it was like, okay, this thing's starting to kind of go around the world. It was like right off to the races. The shops were being raided, you know. So I don't know.
I think if a fucking UFO landed in a playing field,
Oh yeah,
and fucking Baines got out, I
Yeah.
think people would be like, they would circle obviously and just like stare at it. But like, yeah, I don't know if they would go mad.
imagine if it came to the playing fields. That would be so hilarious.
I don't know if they'd
All
be
the
right.
places they
So
could laugh. No,
I don't know, but if they start, I mean, if they showed like they were the hostile,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, but I don't know.
But there would be people, even if they like came in peace, there would be people that would be like cynical and be like, "Oh, but they are."
There is people that are
Yeah.
not right in that. Yeah, 100%.
So
But yeah, I'd be interested. I mean, when you look at Day After Tomorrow, everybody's going off their nut. Then you look at fucking Independence Day, people's going off their
Yeah,
nut.
aye.
And that's kind of like, yeah, they're not big. I mean, every fucking UFO thing I've ever watched, most of them, they all say that that the extraterrestrials, that they obviously say they're real and stuff. But they said everybody says they're not hostile.
yeah,
There are hostile ones meant to be. I don't know, but there's one that what a lot of the like the little greys and all that shit. They're not hostile. I just wonder if I really want to know if they are real or not. Eh?
if they exist.
I'm sorry, but I don't think we're alone. I mean, that'd be even scarier.
No, I think it'd be stupid to think that.
Don't you think that it would be even scarier though?
What if we were alone? Oh yeah, 100%.
It's like nobody else.
Yeah, like I don't think it has to necessarily be like the film adaptions or what our kind of mind thinks aliens are, what we think they are, right? Because we all have like our opinion of what they look like and what it would be, you know. But I definitely don't think we're the only thing out there.
See, obviously the universe is massive, right? Mm-hmm. It took us 70 years to get that probe out of the fucking out of our solar system. Now, that's not. Think about how big a galaxy is. There's probably billions of galaxies, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the universe that's got all of them galaxies inside it. Now, supposedly there's mirrored universes.
I mean, yeah, they say like it's like endless or something, don't they? Like they say it's
So,
just,
like, there could be another, and that's not even dimensions. We're not even talking about dimensions yet. There could be another dimension where it's you in the wheelchair and I'm like sitting there. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking mad. Like, it's crazy to think about it. It's honestly mad. Like, I've sat there like there was one night I was sat there like it was like 12 o'clock at night, right? I was watching YouTube videos there and I was like, I looked at my watch. Next time I looked at my clock, it was 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah. The YouTube rabbit hole it sneaks up on you, doesn't it? Like it really does.
It's a bastard because
Yeah.
I find myself down it quite often.
I
As
think
you can
it's
probably tell.
I think it's designed to be like that as well, isn't it? It's like because you'll go on like I'll go on for a tutorial video, and then in my recommended it will be like the Sky Sports transfer roundup, and then it will be it'll just go from thing to thing to thing, and it's stuff that I'm interested in, but it's like it's not like follows a trajectory. It'll be like, right, how do I make this transition work? Then I should watch the video, and I was like, "Oh, right, Mason Mount's away to join Man United," and then and then it will be science, and then it will be something else, and it's like, yeah. But
So I could be on for like a DCS tutorial for like how do I start the new F-15, for example, like because that just came out the other day. So I'm learning that jet at the minute. So I've been on YouTube a lot, and then like in my recommended, I've got what was the last one? It was like RFK's. There was a speech RFK did, right? So I just clicked on that, and then there was like the new Alex Jones podcast the other day. I was like, oh fuck! So it's like I saved it because I save a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
that I don't even watch half of them because like when you look at like something and you go, oh, I want to watch that, but it's 3 hours long.
Yeah.
I'm
I'll
like,
come back.
I'll watch
to
it later. Yeah,
might as well have not even saved it.
So yeah. So that was that podcast. It was like 3 hours long. So I watched that earlier.
That is one thing that amazes me about like this is just American podcasts in general. It seems like they go for 3-4 hours. Like
we could do that.
I don't think I've got the concentration for it, to be honest with you.
Well, but think about how quick though we go through tech.
Yeah, I know.
Like this was only supposed to be an hour tonight. Look at like
hour 25. Yeah,
I mean that like doesn't feel like.
Well,
that.
I mean, what's the longest one we've done? I think it was the UFO one way back.
We need to do it. We need to revisit that. I think the UFO.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you enjoyed that.
Yeah, because I enjoyed all
the
the what was the guy's name again?
Bob Lazar.
Yes, and there was Graham Hancock was he? No, he was.
I'm not sure. No,
There's another guy. there was the other guy that was talking about the kind of spirituality of it and that as well.
Oh, it's Dr. Stephen Greer.
Stephen Greer, there we go. I remember.
People think he's nuts, by the way.
Yeah,
He's got some interesting points, I think.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, it is. It's interesting. And I think it's becoming harder to distinguish who is nuts.
But what do you think about the whole spiritual thing, though? Like, I mean, like, do you know how you get monks and stuff, like, say, a fucking Tibetan monk or something? He sits there and he'll sit there and he'll, what do you call it, meditate all day, and he goes into this deep state.
Yeah, of course.
Like, I think I want to know more about that.
Yeah, meditation and that is there's definitely something to that, right?
But it's something that we all have that not anybody around here does.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they do. I just don't know.
But I mean, I used to know someone, right, that used to. Well, no, I still know them, but they do tarot cards. Right?
Oh yeah.
Right. So I was someone that was majorly like cynical, skeptical, like
Right, yeah.
I can't be doing with this, right? And they gave me a reading one day, and it was very, very accurate, right? It was very accurate of how it played out for like the next week, and they did something else in terms of like the whole meditation thing and that, and they'd given me like a few not like videos where you like relax, and then they were just telling me to try stuff out, right? And
like
I
mindfulness and stuff.
Yeah, mindfulness, and so I'll give that a try, and it was doing a lot, and I could see the benefit of it, right? But sometimes I think there is a line there's a line where people will go too far with that stuff, right? Where I got put into an email newsletter for a guy on the internet, and I was getting like weekly updates on reminding me how important it was to breathe. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I understand that it doesn't mean breathing as just conventional breathing, but I was like, I don't need that update. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm going to stop breathing, fuck it.
And then the next thing, like, garlic cures flu. I mean, he didn't actually say that, but it was, it starts getting a bit, next thing, Elon Musk and Bill Gates are aliens. And I'm like, right, let's hold on just a second here. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think what about the mindfulness? And I enjoyed that. This is getting a bit kind of...
Before you know, he's all like, we're not from Gaia. We're
yeah.
But I mean, I remember a woman came into my auntie's bar when my auntie had a bar in Spain, and she did a reading for her and stuff, and she was fucking mega accurate. And she spoke about me, saying that I was gonna be ill. I think it was something to do with an operation, which was true. And then I was gonna get ill again, but I was gonna be all right.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. I had pneumonia and I nearly died.
I remember you saying,
a few years after that, and I was fine, obviously. But like she was bang on. Like everything she said, she was bang on. And I'm really like interested in that. Like I would really actually like to have someone as a friend that is like that.
Yeah.
Like because I think I could actually. I'm not paying for her time, but like I'd actually like to know certain things. Like for example, you get what do you call them? Mediums.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm quite interested in like people like see shit. Like, and I know you get ones that are full of shit.
Yeah, like John Edwards. Remember that guy? Where they figured out his system. He was in America. He was like early 2000s, and he would say he'd be like, I'm getting Ralph, and then no one would speak. He was like, oh no, it's actually Raymond, and they're like, oh my uncle's hairdresser's dog was named Raymond. It's like that's it. I'm seeing a dog. So there is frauds out there, but there is people that definitely.
Yeah, like people that actually do see things, and they can actually see. Like that you're carrying around shit with you, or like if there's spirits or family members or whatever. I've always been kind of interested in paranormal and stuff. But
this is the one that I've asked myself. If you had the chance, let's just say, and there's no way of guaranteeing this, so it is totally hypothetical. But if there was a way to get a guarantee that someone was a medium and could speak to people that have passed over, and would you take that opportunity? To let's just say this person's legit, right? Obviously there's no way of knowing, right? But let's just say in a hypothetical scenario,
they are.
They are, and they offer you the chance to be able to communicate with someone that was in your life and now no longer here. And that, would you take that opportunity to speak to them? Or
fucking right.
Would you be freaked out by it?
No, fucking right. I would 100%. As I say, like people, like I get touched like with my head and stuff all the time, and I've heard whispers in my ears and stuff in my like. I'm not making this shit up. Like I'm being serious, and like I tell my mum and dad out all night. Like my dad like jokes with me. He's like, I didn't really touch you that last night then, and I was like, fucking yes, actually. So like I ask my brother and stuff. Like I say it all the time, and it's fucking weird. It doesn't happen to anyone else, but they hear stuff as well. But like the breathing and the touch, like it doesn't happen to them, but it does to me. So like I'm not freaked out by it anymore. I was, but I'm not anymore, and because they're not gonna hurt me. Do you know what I mean? Like I've never ever been hurt. It's just a bit freaky. It's just a bit weird, but no, like. It doesn't freak me out.
Do you think you can consciously put yourself in that state, like in terms of the whole meditation and stuff like that? Do you think that because the mind's a powerful thing, isn't it?
I think it's way more powerful than we actually know. I think like neurologists and stuff, like they know what they know about the brain, but they really don't know shit.
Yeah,
like the brain is one thing that we can't really figure out. I don't think.
No,
from what I've heard anyway, it's really complex, and so I think. Through the whole spiritual thing and all that, I think we're actually, like, for example, when you've got a sixth sense.
Yeah.
Like, you can feel someone looking at you behind you.
Yeah.
Or there's something off in a room or whatever. Like, where the fuck's that come from?
Yeah. Because it can't be explained.
The smell comes from your nose. You can hear things from your ears. This feeling thing, where's that come from? Because if you were staring at me in the corner and I was doing something, I could feel you there.
Yeah.
I could
I
sense
get
that.
a little bit of that as well, to be honest.
Yeah, and I've got like pretty strong senses. Because like, for example, like growing up in a wheelchair and stuff, you don't have what everybody else has. Like my legs can't work, right? So it's almost like I can sense things stronger for a weird reason. I don't know why that is. Like if you're talking to me and you were actually taking the piss out of me, but I didn't. But you were doing it smart, so that
yeah.
I could tell straight away.
You'd be able to see.
I've had it so many times, right? So, like, I can kind of sense things, but I think we're more powerful within us.
Yeah, I think we kind of. It's a cliche way of saying it, but I think we can unlock more than what we realize, right? I think your mind can be opened, not just in the way of the whole. Stuff that you hear on the internet, like the Matrix and stuff like that, but like, I definitely think there's like, people just kind of accept, like, God, no, it's a bunch of nonsense. That's just how it's meant to be. But I think when you actually kind of delve into it, and not through watching other people but actually experiencing it yourself, can be quite a powerful thing. Well, that has been 90 minutes of what was meant to be AI, and we did touch on AI.
No, we did. I think we could have went more in depth, but the thing is that I think we'd lose a lot of people because it gets really deep
technical
and it's fucking strange.
Yeah, it's
really strange,
and
I think a lot of people are gonna find it. Like, see, my mum and dad, they're gonna find it difficult to adjust to that.
Yeah,
like I was talking to, I talked to my dad about it, and he's like, he doesn't again like.
Yeah.
You never grow up. You don't. Kids are going to grow up with this, but they didn't.
Before we go, what do you think about Neuralink? Paranoid about it?
You should have asked me that at the start. Neuralink could be amazing, but again,
I think.
But what else is in that? Like, are they doing this to control your mind?
And I think it's probably fair to say that it could be built for good intentions and then evolve into something not so good, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, you're just going to need a yearly upgrade.
Yeah.
Or you're going to need every 6 months, you're going to need an update. So they plug you into a fucking system. So it's going to be like getting a checkup for the doctor.
Yeah.
So what they'll do is they'll plug you into their fucking laptop and upgrade you, right? This is getting Westworld shit, right?
Yeah.
So, like, the thing is that, okay, yeah, my spine feels so much better now. Thank you very much for that. But now, like, now I'm thinking in a different way.
It's so ridiculous because you would think, like, even maybe 5 years ago, this will never happen. But this is like a real possibility now.
This is real. They're doing this on pigs.
Yeah.
They've already started doing it on pigs. But, like, the thing is Elon Musk, is he trustworthy or isn't he? Because he comes across as he is and he's smart and he does this and that. But, like, if fucking history has taught us anything,
Yeah.
like people thought Hitler was a good person, and then like what happened?
Yeah.
So
there's always been a wolf in sheep's clothing, right?
of course, right. The thing is that it could be amazing, especially for people like myself, right? It could help me, and
100%, exactly.
People that are disabled and that need help, like it could fucking very well
Restoring people's vision.
Yeah, exactly, and it could really fucking help people.
Yeah.
And that would be incredible, right? But the thing is that we don't know everything about this. But not everybody's smart enough to understand that.
Yeah.
Right? Some disabled person, just say like me, right, that doesn't understand about AI. I do understand it to an extent, but some people don't. So like they were going to be like, holy shit, this is a miracle. And they get it, right? And like maybe, I don't know, a year, 2 years down the line, all of a sudden they're a different person up here. But people are not noticing it because it happens over time.
Yeah.
So what's happening to that person? They're thinking differently. So, you don't know what they're controlling. You don't know what's in that.
Or just even the change in thinking from the intoxication, like, of being able to regain something they've never experienced before. That is an intoxicating feeling, right? And it can happen in many different forms. You don't have to be someone with themselves, like, I mean, there's many examples I could give. But I agree that I think as it's being advertised just now for what it's being made for would be a fantastic thing, right? I think everyone can agree on that. But someone brought up I can't remember who I was watching that was saying this, but someone made a really good point of saying, obviously it's not something that's going to be mandated, but this wasn't mandated. But if I was to throw this out, I would be at a disadvantage in life now, right?
Of course, of course.
So it is theoretically mandated.
Yeah, like most people, you need that to get on your flight. You need that to pay for your shit at the shop. You need, do you know what I mean? You don't even need a bank card anymore. You just take your phone. Doesn't matter. Like the scary thing about Neuralink though is that might be in here.
Yeah.
And like in the future, right?
This is overstepped the boundary of privacy, right? But it would just take it another step further.
So with that in your head, you are all of a sudden now telepathic.
Yeah.
Because if I wanted to phone you, I could do that.
Think it, yeah.
And I could just think it, and I could listen to you, and you could listen to me. Okay, it might sound a bit fucking mental, but from what we've talked about before, with GPT and all that, AI is completely changing everything. Like, it's literally the whole world. It will change like that. I mean, it's going to get to the point where I was hearing about, there were like contact lenses, and like, say you went to Rome, you can see is it the Colosseum?
Yeah, the Colosseum, yeah.
Right,
Where the gladiators fought and
yeah,
all that,
yeah. So you go there, right? And all of a sudden, you tell your Neuralink, oh yeah, well, I wonder what this looked like back in the old Roman days, right?
And it could then
ping, and it's showing you buildings. It's just like you're wearing a VR headset, but you now have it through
your eyes.
Because Neuralink is connected with this, and it now envisions you to see pictures that you have sent me. That you like. That all you need to do is go like this.
Yeah.
You blink, you take a picture. You blink, you take a picture. It takes every single thing, and it's video and everything as well, if you want it to. That will have that ability to do that, right? That's where it will eventually go if Neuralink is successful and all that sort of stuff. But even if Neuralink's not successful, someone else will do it, right? Because if you've got artificial intelligence at your fingertips that can, okay, how do I do this? We want this to happen. How do I do it? And it tells you how to do it.
Yeah. Happy topics as always on the northeast corner.
Well, I mean, like, that is...
Yeah, no, I know.
That is the way it will eventually go, right?
Yeah. And I suppose we've just got to kind of embrace it at this point, really, haven't we? Because there's
nothing we can do about it.
There's no going back.
No, there's nothing we can do about it.
But the test run, that's what I'm going to call the episode. I was struggling. I've been thinking throughout this episode, what am I going to call this episode? The test run. That is what this episode shall be called. How do we like the studio at the moment?
Fucking great. Love it.
I mean, there's still furnishings to be done. But the new home, But the same home, but the upgraded home. I kind of like your like in the future.
It really does look good though.
Yeah, it's comfortable. The sounds a lot better.
It'll be cool when you
get the sign up. Yeah. Obviously, I'll be spending a lot of time in here as well. Obviously, producing for other people and stuff like that as well. So
it actually feels like a studio.
Yeah.
It actually feels quite cozy, to be fair.
Yeah, it does. It's nice.
Like, it's actually quite nice. You know
I mean, it is summer, so like that will be tested in the winter, but I do have the heater still, so.
Oh, the heater that doesn't heat in it.
Yeah. I'll get another one of them. Then that might equal one heater.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, yeah. But anyway, that is episode 88 in the books, in the records and whatnot. 88, yeah, we're closing in on 100.
That's going to have to be a piss up.
So, yeah, well, that's I'm deciding because I'm thinking. Well, I was thinking like when we got to like 85, I was like, I'll start thinking about what to do. But now, like, I've been like busy with other things. It's like we're now at 88, and there's still like a good 12 weeks if we do an episode a week to well. Next week we won't be doing an episode because it's my birthday and I'm going out for a drink. So. But it will be this year at some point, obviously. I would estimate September. See if it's October 20th.
Oh, if you do it for September, it's my birthday.
Oh, ideal. Well, if we
could get it for that'd be cool.
We can. What are we on now? July, basically. Basically July. So there's a chance. Yeah. It better not be October 20th.
Why?
Because Spider-Man 2 is coming out and I'm geeking out that day. So, but apart from that, I'm good for most days. I originally we thought maybe a pub, but now that this has kind of took its form, feels like it would probably be appropriate to do it in here where it all began, where it's always been. Apart from a couple episodes where we went on the road.
Do it, I'm up for it anyway.
Awesome. Well,
it was a good episode.
It was a good episode.
It was a bit of a mix.
It was a bit of a mix. It was good variety.
And I bet everybody watching this thinks we're absolutely nuts.
Yeah. Hey, but that's a subjective thing, though.
You know, the thing is, right? You can look back on this 5-10 years.
You'd be like, no way.
And then you'd be like, Jesus, fuck. I'm not from the future, I swear to God.
Yeah. No, we don't know. We don't do time travel. Anyway, whenever episode 89 is about, I don't know if it's going to be a guest or anything. We're in the process of just trying to figure shit out. I've been so obsessed with getting stuff put in place for this that now that is kind of eventually coming to an end and everything's getting put in place, I'm now starting to think about guest episodes. We're still got to do that one with Lee that I mentioned a few months back.
Yeah.
So we'll get that in at some point.
We've never been on one before, though.
No, exactly. And obviously for 100, because Seshcast has been cursed for some fucking reason, right?
Blame Paul.
Well, I got COVID the first year it was meant to happen, and then the second one, for some reason, an ice rink had formed in my street, so I couldn't even walk outside.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I could barely, like, even on the night the documentary aired, I was like going to my mate's house to watch the premiere. Anyway, we're going on too long. We will see you next time.